Warning: the following video is raw and unscripted. Ranting and rambling may occur. Viewer discretion is advised.
Don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Josh from Nightmare on Woodsboro Lake. I hope you're all having a wicked weekend so far. Thank you for joining me today. I wanted to do a review segment on a television show that I found on Amazon Prime about a year ago. Now, the show is called Eerie, Indiana, and it had a two-season span from 1991 to 1992. And I guess it used to air on Fox. But this seemed like a very discreet hole-in-the-wall kind of television show because I never hear anybody ever talk about it. I definitely loved Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark as a kid, and this would have kind of just been like right up there with those. The show isn't strictly horror-based, but it does have elements of horror as well as, stuff regarding like sci-fi and cryptozoology, aliens, all that fun stuff. But the show is based around these two young boys, Marshall and Simon, who live in this town of Eerie, Indiana, a town where nothing ever happens. It's so boring, generic, nothing special. So these kids become friends, and they end up finding out that this weird stuff is leaking into their town, and so things start getting a little hair crazy and kind of weird. So Eerie goes from being like this flat, one-tone, boring town to this hot spot for all this sci-fi shit and supernatural stuff. Being an adult, I can't be overly critical of this show, especially knowing that it was shot in 1991. Practical effects weren't the same, special effects weren't the same, filming wasn't the same, budgets were not as high. This was, for what it was, I know as a kid, I would have been locked in. I still as an adult was very entertained with this show. But as a kid, this would have easily been top 3, if not top 4 for me. I thought it was really fun. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but I do want to leave this little intro right now to the show, and I want you to see how crazy things were back in the 90s, and just kind of see how totally different things were from then till now. It's drastically changed. So enjoy these intro credits to Eerie, Indiana.
To whom it may concern, if you're reading this document, it means I'm either dead or have disappeared under mysterious circumstances. My name is Marshall Teller. Not long ago, I was living in New Jersey, just across the river from New York City. It was crowded, polluted, and full of crime. I loved it. But my parents wanted a better life for my sister and me. So we moved to a place so wholesome, so squeaky clean you could only find it on TV. Unfortunately, nothing could be further from the truth. Sure, my new hometown looks normal enough, but look again. What's wrong with this picture? The American dream come true, right? Wrong. Nobody believes me, but this is the center of weirdness for the entire planet.
Thank you, little paper boy.
Eerie, Indiana. My home sweet home. Still don't believe me? You will.
All right, guys, that was the opening intro to Eerie, Indiana. I definitely know what you guys want to know what you guys think. So leave a comment below. Tell me what you guys think so far. Um, so yeah, if I was to rate this show, just I have to consider several factors in this. Like I said, things were way different then. As a kid, dude, as a kid, I would have rated this at least a 9 or a 10. Like, I would have probably gone high on this show. As an adult, like, I have to give it props for what it was and for the time period it was shot in. So I will definitely give it about a 6.5 as an adult viewer. Like I told you, as a kid, it would have been a 9 or a 10. But it's definitely worth a watch. I don't know if it's still streaming on Amazon Prime because, like I said, that was like a year ago. But it's definitely fun. If you have kids, it'd be fun to watch with your kids too, especially if you want to kind of like introduce them to like spooky stuff and horror. Definitely sprinkle it in there with Goosebumps and those shows as well. And there's some new ones on like Disney Plus and on like Netflix, like Creeped Out or something like that. I think is like an anthology show as well. But it'd be a fun one to like get your kids started on if you're interested in taking that route. Of course, I'm not telling anybody how to parent. But the first season is based mainly around, like I said, Marshall and Simon. The second season, however, I will just divulge this information for you. The second season segues into these two other boys in an alternate dimension who are pretty much like our Marshall and Simon, but they're in like another dimension, parallel timeline. Well, I guess alternative timeline. I don't think parallel would be the right term, but alternative timeline, and weird stuff starts leaking into their dimension as well. So it's a fun watch. Like, I was kind of like bummed that they didn't carry on Marshall and Simon more into the next season. They kind of have like transmissions with these other two guys in this other dimension, but they're not the central focus anymore. But it's still a fun watch. I enjoyed both seasons. I was bummed to find out that there really wasn't much more than that. But yeah, very discreet show. It eked its way by 1991 through 1992. Definitely check it out. Like I said, I would love to know what you guys think. If any of you have seen it before, leave a comment below and let me know what you think. And even if you haven't, if you go and like check this out based on my recommendation and want to leave me a comment on my video or hit me up, I think my email is listed in my YouTube. Or even if you, I'll give you my Instagram, n.o.w.l.91. If you want to DM me on there or anything like that too, I'd just love to hear your thoughts on this because I feel like nobody ever talks about this, so I don't have anybody to like chit chat and be like, so what do you think of Eerie, Indiana? Like, I feel like this stranded guy on this island, like, where nobody knows where the fuck I am and what I'm talking about. So it'd be great if some people could check that out and like have some banter with me. That's really what I want. I'd love to just like discuss this show and see what you guys think. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Actually, before I go, side note, there are some famous actors and actresses that end up popping up in these episodes as well. I forgot to mention. We have a young Tobey Maguire drops in for us, as well as a very big staple in the horror community, a great final girl, Danielle Harris. She drops in as Marshall's love interest in a few episodes. So, yeah. And she was really, really young. This was like when she was getting started. So, yeah, there's a few famous people that you'll be like, holy shit! You know, like when you see them. So, yeah, just sorry, side note. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel, that would mean a great deal to me. I would love if you all joined the Nightmare on Woodsboro Lake family. You know, people who share my love of horror, and whether that's books, games, videos, movies, all the above, comics. I'd just like to meet more people, you know, have friendly banter, discuss movies, and like get recommendations and all kinds of things. So yeah, it just would mean the world to me if you would subscribe and join my family here, and follow me on Instagram, whatever you'd like to do. I also have a Facebook I just started. I started solely on Instagram, and then built this YouTube up, and so yeah, it would mean a lot. But I thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. I love you all, and I hope you have a awesome rest of your weekend, and I will catch you guys later.